Okay, hello dear friends, good evening, such a beautiful evening. And I got some new oolong tea, and it smells quite original. That's too much. So I plan to drink some. I think that's about the quantity, about 1 gram to 2 grams. Okay, I will not make it complicated. It's hot water, kind of boiling water, and just a teeny tiny little bit than boiling. And I got it from boiling and bring it to here about 1 to 2 minutes time. Maybe we should have a piece of white paper under it. Let me find a piece of white paper under it. Okay, so that's the developed oolong tea, and I just got it, and it smells quite good. So let's appreciate it together. It's not the the most expensive, and from time to time you will see a little bit chunk of it, I think. Not too much. That is just a natural part of tea. And I decided not to rinse it. They are almost all there. Now I will put the background. Oh, before I put the background, let's take a look at this tea. So it's half developed, not completely fresh, not completely undeveloped. And that is the tea. And it's sealed, or I just opened it up, so it smells quite good. Now let's test it. Now let's test its smell. That is so. Comparing with the green oolong, it is developed, and usually this kind of developed oolong tea, it relatively take longer time to open it up. If you see it, and even it opens up, it's not completely like the green oolong. Oolong, I love oolong tea because it has a complicated flavor, and there is a very interesting purity in oolong tea. Okay, so if you see this kind of developed oolong tea, one of the character is it's very clean. The water is very clean. The tea liquor, the liquid is very clean because it's already developed. So all this flavor, all this this young chaos of young age already purified, already distilled. So that's very much like this, and usually the taste is very settled, very subtle, very calm, and not very creamy and fragrant. The young oolong, the milk oolong, you can taste the youth of it, the freshness of it, and the creaminess, and that just young energy of it. But usually this kind of old oolong or developed oolong, they are more settled and more calm, and there is no character. It's like an old, wise, ancient sage. Someone just nothing show off, but internally there is so much retaste, so much of this undertone of it. Okay, I think that's about it. The color is always like this. Let me put the screen into white screen. Let me put the screen into white screen so that you can see. I'm sorry, it's anytime I touch a little teeny tiny little bit, you will feel it, I think. Okay, white screen, white screen. Okay, white screen. Now I'm comfortable. Okay. Okay, quality, the lowest, so it does not take too much of my bandwidth. I mean, do not. Okay, I think. Okay, so here is the white screen, and we can take a look at the tea. And this is the tea liquor. It's very, very, very clean, and no chaos, no dust, no, it's just everything is distilled. Let me taste it. It should be. It's still too hot, but there is nutty. Nutty is the word. There is like burned chestnut, burned châtaigne, walnut, or maybe just walnut. That, yeah. Let me try it again. Oh, it is nutty. There is this dried nuts aroma, fragrance. And especially it is hot. You do not see the vapor of it, but when you blow it or just smell it, it is hot. And I think it's one of the way to help the inhale. You inhale that that heat, that warmth into your lung. It's good. It's so good to smell it. It's such a pleasure. Oh, wow. This tea needs patience, needs needs the quietness, and needs to not asking, needs the mentality of let go, of accepting. Oh, wonderful tea! I love it. That's so good. And it starts to be a little bit sweet. That's very good. Okay. So the other day I got one friend asking, and she heard tea needs to be suspended and away from the water to stop oversteeping. That is very true. But if you drink just 1 cup of it, this is okay. This is the Chinese way, a Chinese people's way of drinking for many years. I think one of the important thing to enjoy tea is the amount of tea leaf you put in. Tea leaf by itself is bitter, and if you put too much of it, it becomes just unbearably bitter. But if you put it in the right amount and allow the aroma to come out, it is a very enjoyable tea. And所以这个茶是乌龙茶，乌龙茶。乌 is black, 龙 is dragon. Oh, maybe I can take this opportunity to write it down. 乌龙茶. And if you are from mainland China, this is the mainland China, the simplified way of writing. And if you are from, and this is a traditional way of writing. Oh gosh. I forgot this. Oolong. Let me check it out if I am right. So Oolong cha, Wu, it pronounced Wu, Wu, Long, long. This is not long, not Oolong. I always hear people say Oolong, and in Chinese this is Long. Oolong. If you do not have a pronunciation, enunciation, if you do not have the tone of it, it's oolong. But this one is long, long, oolong, oolong, cha, oolong cha. U is dark, black. Long is dragon. Cha is cha tea. So black dragon tea. I do not know exactly why it is called, but oolong cha usually, what I have heard, maybe the tea itself is black. I mean the tea, like the tea leaf color is already fermented, becomes black. I think the young oolong is newly developed. Used to be oolong is fermented. And at least when I was young, 30 years ago, around 30 years ago, that was the first time I started to drink oolong tea, because I lived in Shanghai for a couple of months, and Shanghai has a problem of water. The water, they get the water from Yangtze River, and the water has a very, very, very strong bleach smell, and it's very unpleasant. And the people just drink that, and they used to it. For any people out of Shanghai, it's just undrinkable. It's very hard to drink. Even people from Shanghai, they do not like it. So my friend, I lived with my friend, they drink it with tea. And normal tea does not have a very strong smell. For example, jasmine tea just cannot counter the bleach taste, so they use oolong tea. At least my friend used oolong tea. So that was the first time I started to drink oolong tea. And as I remember at that time, the oolong tea was very black and very dark. And now I am drinking oolong tea with so light color. It's quite quite unique. Anyway, maybe it's developed into something lighter. So oolong, if you drink it very strong, it has this rusty, tarred or rusty, that not smooth. It's too strong. You feel that something stuck there. It's not pleasant. But if you put just a little teeny tiny little bit, then it's a water that eccentricated, exquisite. It has some bitterness in the water, but make it even more interesting. It's like cooking. When we cook caramel, sometimes we put some salt. The purpose is to use the contrast, complement the sweetness of caramel. And also a lot of food actually has a unique flavor that is against our common comfortness, such as mudar, wasabi, mustard, what else, and some bitterness. If you make cocktail, you know that you need some bitterness to make your cocktail stands out. And this tea is kind of like that. This tea is kind of like that. It brings a lot of, it brings more layer and depth of flavor. So this is 乌龙茶，我喜欢乌龙茶。我喜欢乌龙茶，很有奶香的 milk 乌龙，奶 is milk. There is a brand, or there is a special product. It's called milk oolong. It did not have milk, but the tea farm 奶香 milk oolong. 奶 is milk, 香 is fragrance. 奶香乌龙 is developed 40 years or something. It's like we make a crossbreed animal, cat, make a new style of cat. It takes many generations. Tea also, if you want to develop a particular flavor, a particular fragrance, it takes time. So that tea takes, as I have checked internet, it took 40 years until it becomes a very creamy. It must be some tree has a creamy flavor. Then this tea farmer keep on getting this and enhance it with weather condition, with water condition, with every condition to make and enhance that flavor. Finally came out that milk oolong. and some people like it, and it has no milk in it. It just, this oolong tea, it's so creamy, and it's very very smooth, very creamy, very rich, and make you feel more pleasant. And this pleasant is not an adjective for this developed oolong. Distilling is the word. It's just uplifting, or this has this incarnation, redemption, that kind of feeling. 香乌龙 you can ask for 奶 n I. This is I together pronounce I. 奶香乌龙乌龙。If you go to Chinese shop, don't say Oolong, Oolong. No, not Oolong. That is not Haiyin taught you. Okay, if you pronounce Oolong, you do not say you learned it from Haiyin. I never teach that. Yes, Oolong, Long dragon, Long 的传人 Long. Okay, so this developed oolong, it's so good. Oh, I love it. This particular. And I put it on my shop from time to time. There are oolongs, different. Each one has different character. I try it, and I feel it's good. Then I get more. This one, I know it is good, and finally I got the shipment. So happy. Enjoy. 谢谢大家啊，很好。奶香乌龙，这个不是奶香乌龙，这个是陈年乌龙，这个是developed, fermented, half fermented. This is not totally fermented. 再见，晚安。